Hey YouTube, it's Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, back again with you guys. And welcome to Late Night Frights. It is Thursday, and as you know, it is my day. Last week there was no video from me due to a family emergency, which the guys all know, but this week I am getting to do my video for the week. Gotta kind of forgive that I don't have my hat or anything, but it's like really early Thursday morning. I want to say it's probably like 3-4 o'clock here in Michigan, I would say, but this week it is our horror comedy week, and I actually chose to review one of my personal favorites. It is Return of the Living Dead, and the reason I don't have my DVD of it is because it's packed up in one of my boxes here where I live, and because of my living situation, I can't really have all my collection out, so I didn't really have time to like dig through the boxes and everything just to find the DVD and just to like make a mess of the room. So, but I'm gonna try and do this like the best I can and kind of keep it a bit shorter than I normally do, because normally mine will go like 10-12 minutes, but this one's for one, since I don't have the DVD with me, or on me as I should say, and since I'm kind of going a little bit blind off this one, I'm kind of gonna go based on what I know. But sorry guys, like I said, I'm a little out of it. But Return of the Living Dead, you know, it's basically a horror comedy. Actually, in this world that this movie takes place in, Night of the Living Dead actually was a real life situation, and so you get these two guys. I think it's James Karen from Poltergeist and Tom Matthews from Friday the 13th Part 6. They're working at like this. It's like I want to say it's like some kind of like warehouse where they like they have like all these different like cadavers and stuff for medical research and all that. And so James Karen, his character, basically is telling Tom Matthews about what goes on there, and he goes into the fact that, you know, Night of the Living Dead was actually like a real situation, and they actually have some of the dead bodies from that situation in these canisters down in the basement. So he takes them down to show them, and he pounds on one of them just to kind of show them that they're like airtight and, you know, nothing can come out of them. And they both get blasted by this gas. It's called like I think in the later movies it's called like trioxin or something like that. But you know, this gas basically just blasts the two of them, and basically that's kind of how the movie kind of kicks off. And then it cuts to like this group of like 5 or 6 kids who are basically going into this cemetery nearby to party. And there's actually two memorable I would say people in this group. There's Linnea Quigley, she's kind of a punk type girl. Her character's name is Trash, but this is one of the few movies I've seen her in. I really liked her. Other than that, I've seen her in Night of the Demons, which is another one I enjoyed. I am looking to get my hands on that Scream Factory edition. But you know, back to this movie, these kids are basically going to this graveyard to party, and so if I remember correctly, the two working at the warehouse, you know, James Karen and Tom Matthews, they call their boss Clu Gallagher and let him know what's going on. And by this time, you know, because of this gas getting loose and blowing all over them, it's basically, you know, caused everything in this warehouse to basically, you know, come back to life. Like there's like this little like frame with all these butterflies, and the wings are flapping and everything, and there's like half a dog. It's like panting and barking. And then there's one part, I do remember this. It's actually a cadaver, and this cadaver suddenly comes to life and just starts running at one of the guys and basically just So it tries to take him down. They basically, you know, chop him. They basically like hack him up into bits and burn him in the incinerator they have there. Well, this incinerator, now I would say this is a big mistake, because once the smoke from this dead body gets out of the smokestack and into the air, you know, pretty soon, you know, it starts pouring down rain. And of course, the rain's got the trioxin in it, and so meanwhile, it's getting down into the ground of the cemetery, and all these bodies are they're like starting to climb out of the graves and come back to life and everything. Meanwhile, you know, these kids are partying. You know, Linnea Quigley, she's got the famous nude scene where she dances on top of like, I think it's like I'm not sure exactly what it's. I know it's a grave of some kind, but I'm not sure exactly what it's called. But you know, it starts pouring rain all over them, and of course, you know, the zombies are coming to life and coming after them. But like I said, you know, it's really gory. There's really some cool stuff in there. I mean, this is one of the few movies where, one of the very few that even I can recall where the zombies actually talk. And there's scenes where, like, you hear them screaming, brains! And they're just chasing after anybody living, you know, trying to basically, you know, eat their brains, basically. But it's just a really cool thing, because then pretty soon it ends up that Linnea Quigley's character, she becomes a zombie, and she's kind of leading, like, this one group of zombies. Meanwhile, you know, cops and the paramedics have all showed up, and these zombies, led by Linnea Quigley, pretty much just take them out. And so it gets, and after this happens, you know, the paramedics, they show up first, and they're all taken out. And so one of the zombies, this is one of the funniest parts to me, but he gets on the walkie-talkie, he goes, "Come in, dispatch. Send more paramedics." So, of course, being stupid, they send more paramedics, and along with the cops, zombies take them out. Another zombie gets on a cop's walkie-talkie. "Send more cops." And, like, the movie, it's crazy fun. It's I gotta say, it's one I enjoyed. The first time I saw it, I think I was in high school at the time. I saw it with a buddy of mine. Him and I actually rented part 1 and part 2, and we watched them back to back. So that was kind of a cool experience for me, and something that him and I, we do share. And this wasn't Buffy Xenaman, mind you. He wasn't into horror at this point. This was another friend of mine that both Buffy Xenaman and I knew really well. And he had moved to a neighboring town, so I would go and stay with him a few weekends here and there. And they had a couple, like, video rental stores at the point, so, you know, it was still all mainly VHS at that point. So we pretty much rented 1 and 2 on VHS, watched them back to back, had a good old time. But, you know, part 2, I gotta say, I gotta throw in a side note there, part 2 has always been my favorite. But, okay, sorry guys. You get near probably like the end of the movie, and it's the one guy, Tom Matthews, his girlfriend, and she's like pretty much one of the only ones left alive. And you've got this other guy, he works at like a mortuary or something, and he's the one who burned the body that Tom Matthews, James Karen, and Clu Gallagher chopped up earlier. And that's basically, you know, how the whole thing in the cemetery got started. But, you know, he's trying to protect this girl. Meanwhile, you know, Tom Matthews' character, he's become a total zombie, you know, chasing his girlfriend throughout the place. And basically, you know, she's hiding with the, I think it's like a, mortician. They're hiding in the attic, and so he's trying to get in there. And like, this is right at the very end, but, like, there's, like, some really cool, like, stop-motion effects at the end. And it's from, those effects were done by the same people who, at the time, were working on the Terminator. And I think they won an Oscar for that. I can't be too sure, though, but, you know, that's basically, you know, it ends with, like, just a nuclear blast taking out all the zombies, and it kind of, like, freeze frames, like, right there, because, you know, Tom Matthews is a zombie. He's burst through the attic door, and it kind of, like, freezes there, and then you see, like, Linnea Quigley and all the zombies, they're looking up at, like, the missile to kind of see what's going on, and it's just a blast. And that's pretty much, you know, how the movie ends. But I gotta say, you know, this is one that I highly enjoy. I know it's on Blu-ray. It's got a collector's edition DVD now. I actually only have, I think it's the bare bones release. It's got a few features, but the cool thing is it's got the original VHS cover art, which for me, you know, I saw that in a lot of video stores as I was a kid, but I never looked into it until I was probably like 15 or 16 and saw it with one of my high school buddies. And so that was pretty much how I first got into it. And I gotta say, like I said, you know, it's one I enjoy. If you guys have not seen it, I highly recommend it. You know, Return of the Living Dead, at least the first 2. I mean, I kind of have a soft spot for part 3, so I would recommend 1, 2, and 3. But the last 2, 4, and 5, I think 4 was Necropolis, and 5 was called Rave to the Grave. Those 2 were strictly made for the Sci-Fi Channel. So I honestly would say avoid those 2. You know, just go with 1, 2, and 3, because those 3 are the best. So, you know, once again, it's Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, telling you to enjoy life, enjoy some Skittles, enjoy some Starburst, keep it forever horror, guys. And in the immortal words of my faithful partner Chris, or Buffy Xenaman on my channel, he always says, eat some chicken, and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye, guys.